What's up? What's going on? In this video, we are going to give you an update on life, on my life, on where I'm at, what's happening with our lives, and my life specifically, which is in turn in Lincoln's life as well. Though I wanted this vlog to be about Lincoln, about me, about my journey, about my unfolding, about all of those kinds of things as well. And so I wanted to give you an update because there are a lot of phenomenal things happening in my life. Like I literally just came to the conclusion as I stepped in this house of like how many awesome things are actually unfolding for me in my life. And a lot of these things I've envisioned for so long, and I've visioned for quite some time. They're just beginning to manifest now. And so I wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update because I don't share that side of me very often. Like I don't share that deep dive look into my life and what's going on for me because there's quite a bit. There's quite a bit. Like for example, as you guys know from the last video, I have a TEDx talk coming up. So a TEDx talk. So if you guys aren't familiar, the talk will be in front of probably about 300 people, and it could go, and then it goes online on the online platform as well. And so TED is a pretty phenomenal, pretty well-known platform, especially for information, ideas worth spreading, really good resources and tools and learning, and a chance for learning, and really a chance to help spread awareness. And I will be diving into, and the topic that I'll be speaking about is how we can end the shame for those who've been sexually abused. And so I'll be diving into talking and speaking about that live on the TEDx stage, which is super exciting and incredible. It's coming up April 5th, so like that's big news in my life. Like that's crazy. And preparing for that is a journey. It's partially like overcoming the fears. It's partially beginning to join, like I joined Toastmasters. I went to Toastmasters last week, and that was incredible. And I really recommend Toastmasters for anyone who wants to begin to improve speaking in public. Like it just helps you formulate and form your sentences more. And if you have a fear of speaking in public, like Toastmasters is the perfect place to do that. So please go check them out. If you're in the Grand Prairie area, there's 3 different Toastmasters. I go to the one during Wednesday night, so I'd love to see you there. If you're in the GP area, that would be wicked. And like that's starting to unfold, and I just went to my first Toastmasters. Been there a couple of times, but just went to my first Toastmasters this past Wednesday. And to be honest, there was a feeling inside of me that was like, oh my gosh, like a little bit nervous. But I've made a decision from here on out to like whenever I feel that, like I'm gonna commit to just going, like taking action, feeling that feeling and taking action and speaking with authority and really owning my stuff. And it's cool how else that is playing out in my life. Like for example, I'll talk a little bit about later, but I did something that I wouldn't have done before, and I haven't done before. It involved a woman. It involved asking for something from a woman that I just met that was awesome and beautiful. That'll come in a bit. Whoa! So I did that, took that step, which was incredible and crazy. But as I begin to get more comfortable speaking in public, and there's like everything, it changes everywhere. It changes your whole dynamic of confidence and gives you more confidence in every single moment of your life, whether it's with your son, whether it's with your kids, whether it's in public talking with someone or talking to a woman or talking to a group of men, which is something that I'm also a part of. And so recently, three men and I, beautiful men, began to start a men's group. And so we've started a men's group in the city of Grand Prairie. And for those of you who are interested, also look me up on Facebook and send me a message if you're interested in joining or wanting to do men's work. Like we're looking to expand. We have a group of about 10 guys that are committed to becoming better versions of themselves and really diving into who they are, what they are, and stepping into like owning themselves in that space. And it's like, it is phenomenal. For me, I've been able to, for most of my life, I've connected a lot more with women than I did men. I avoided male relationships because I was hurt by men in my life. And so I avoided them and connected more with women because they got me. They understood me. I was like kind of like I could relate to them and all that kind of jazz. And so I kind of step away from the male side of things. And really on this journey of me becoming a man, I've really been stepping into and asking myself like what does that look like? How can you surround yourself with other men who are doing the same thing? Because if I surround myself with a bunch of men in a space, in a container where we can practice taking the facades off and just being who we are, being and learning like how to be more manly, how to be more assertive, how to be more aggressive from a place of love, how to even be a man, right? Like, because who taught you, if you're a man, who taught you to be a man? Also, if you're a woman, who taught you to be a woman? Usually it's just by your mom, by your dad, by the male figures in your life. And for the most part, unfortunately, a lot of them got it wrong. A lot of them, it's not that they got it wrong, they got it right. To a degree, it's not effective. It's not helping us. I believe that so many men are lost, and I was lost myself. And we're now only beginning to find ourselves. So like that's been huge as well. And starting a men's group, and from there it's like we're diving out and we're looking at the future vision of what does this look like? What does men's work look like in this area, as well as for us? And so we're talking about retreats. We're talking about all of these different things that stem from starting a men's group and stems from this space. And so it's like, whoa, that's happening. And there's just been so much beautiful things that have been manifesting in my reality. Like no word of a lie. Up here on this screen, I'll show you guys. Right up here. Let's take a look. Right up there. This one right here. That sticky note has been there for quite some time. And on that sticky note, it says, it's partially of my vision, but it's a group of men committed to personal growth, consciousness, love, and expansion. Iron sharpens iron. And so it's been on my vision for quite some time to have a men's group. It's been on my vision for quite some time to have an online coaching practice. It's been on my vision for quite some time to have 1,000 subscribers on my YouTube, on both channels, because I run 2 channels, not just one. And so it's cool to see that some of these things that were on my vision for quite some time are actually happening. Like it's happening. And that's the power of like having a vision for your life, is you begin to just create them and happen. Like the men's group, it literally just happened. Like I met this one man, introduced me to the other man, and we just started it. Like that's literally how it happened. And it's just like, that's been on there for quite some time. It's just like, it's crazy. The moment you begin to direct your focus, your intention, your energy, everything begins to unfold for you. At least it does for me. And I believe that it's a universal law of the universe. Like it's an intention. You're getting clear on what you want. And what you ask for, the universe, God, source, Allah, Jesus, whatever religion, whatever spirituality you want to call it, it just says yes. So for example, if you have a belief, because this is super relevant for me, if you have a belief that there's no good women in this world, or there's no good men in this world, the universe is like, yes, yes, yes. Let's show you all the men, let's show you all the women who aren't good, so that you can reaffirm that belief. Whereas if you ask the universe, and you tell the universe, like, women are great. There are so many great women out here. There's so many great men out here. What then begins to happen? The universe is like, yes, there is. Yes, there is. And that's what you begin to see. This literally happened to me today. So, like, my mindset, literally yesterday, I was triggered by John Weiland. He's a wonderful man. Follow him on Instagram. He knows his stuff energetically and talking about the feminine, the masculine, that sort of energy. But it talked about, for so long, I have held this thought that there aren't any conscious, beautiful, loving women that are just awesome in Grand Prairie. And it might not be that there is none, but I'm pretty sure the thought was that there's very few. There's a very scarce amount, and I have yet to meet them, and so they don't exist. That's kind of like what my mind made up in the story. And then I realized it. I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Because I just kept meeting women who they're okay. They had red flags, red flags, red flags, red flags, red flags. It's just like, oh shit, okay, let's look at that belief, right? How about what if there are really great, conscious, beautiful women out there? What if there's abundance of them? What if there's just so many of them that I wouldn't even know what to do with myself? And that was yesterday that I changed that thought. And guess what happened today? I was walking out of Costco. And I love following my intuition, guys. And I recommend that you follow your intuition as well. I was walking out of Costco. And And I got chips. I got like corn chips. Like there's some wicked like multi-grain corn chips that I got. And a part of me was like, oh, like some cheese would be nice to make nachos, because I used to love nachos. By the way, I'm drinking cacao, cacao with chai tea, as well as some maple syrup. And I don't have maple syrup in this one, but Andrea recommends maple syrup. I would put it in here if I had it. And coconut milk, it's so good. And cacao is so good for you. I had no idea until yesterday with Andrea 2 days ago. Back to the story. Intermittent break. I have lots of energy if you cannot tell. But I was like, cheese would be awesome. And I'm going on this vegan path, right? And so I've been like cutting out all of this stuff from my diet. And I'm just like, interesting. Like, okay. So my go-to is kind of like flipping the coin. It's like heads or tails. Do I do this or not? And so I flipped the coin. It was heads. It was like, I was like, heads, I'll go to No Frills. I'll pick up some cheese. The coin was like heads. So I was like, okay. And then I was in No Frills parking lot. Like I was breathing. I was like, do I really want to make this decision? Like, what am I supporting by picking up cheese? I'm supporting dairy farmers. I'm supporting, not necessarily the good dairy farmers too. I'm supporting the mistreatment of animals. I'm supporting that kind of action by buying this. And I sat with that. I was like, okay, is this something that I really want to do? And so I was like, I flipped the coin again, and it was like, I was like, heads or tails, do I go in? I was like, tails, I go in. And so it was heads, but I was like, fuck it, I'm going in anyways. We're getting the cheese. I was like, made the decision, and we're just gonna go in. And go into No Frills, pick up the cheese, literally head to the lineup. That's all I did, and met this phenomenal woman in the lineup. Of just like, what the fuck? And it was crazy. Like, we chatted for a little bit. She was super awesome, super outgoing, super bubbly. Struck up a conversation, talked a little bit about men's work, talked a little bit about where she's from, what she's doing, where she's been, all that kind of jazz. And there's this little voice in me. Oh, I love the little voice. And I got to listen to the little voice more and more and more and more, like we all do. There's this little voice in me that was like, ask for her number. And you don't know how many times I've been in that situation, yo, with a girl that I'm attracted to, and she seems deadly. And that voice comes up where it's like, ask for a number. And I don't do it, right? I just don't do it. And so it was so awkward. It was awesome. I like go through the lineup, and we're still talking. Their voice is there. I'm like, listen to the voice while she's still talking, but I'm not really listening to her because I'm listening to the voice. And I pay for my stuff, and I'm like ready to go. And so then I take a step, but then I stand there kind of like awkwardly because we're still kind of talking, but we're not really talking. And I just stand there, and I'm like, oh, like what the fuck do I do? Like, do I ask her for her number in the middle of a lineup, or do I just go? And I just stood there. It was like this awkward, like no talking, no movement, no nothing, just like standing there for probably about a good minute of just like, do I do it? Do I do it? Do I do it? Do I do it now? 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 And I didn't do it! What? I fucking walked out. I walked out. I was like, bye, Em. Super nice to meet you. I hope you have a wonderful day. And I walked out. And as soon as I walked through the doors, I was like, fuck, like you should have done that right there, right then. Doesn't matter, just ask for her number right there. And so like I intentionally stopped. There's a family that was like stopped at the crosswalk as well. Like we're right about to get out, go to the crosswalk, and we stopped because there's cars, and the cars just kept coming. And I was like, I just stood there. I was like, okay, if she comes out, I'm asking for a number. So I stopped there. I like intentionally stopped there for longer because I could have just walked with confidence. Cars would have stopped, that kind of stuff. But I stopped there. And she came out. And I just fucking just kept walking. I kept walking. And then I saw her in my peripheral. She was kind of like making a same decision of like, do I go this way and kind of like talk to him, or do I separate this way? Because she knew where she was parked. She was parked over there. I was parked over here. And I start kind of like walking my car, and she kind of does the same. And then she cuts this way. And then across like the parking lot, I'm like, hey, like, do you have a boyfriend? And she's like, no. I was like, can I have your number? Can I take your number? I think I said, can I grab your number? And she's like, for sure, right? And then we walked to her car, we said goodbye. She dropped her stuff, it was wicked, it was awesome. And I share that with you for multiple reasons. Number one, it's like looking at my life, like, what the fuck? But to celebrate, like, hey, I did it. Actually did it. That's the first time I think I've ever done something like that in quite some time. Like listened and followed through on the voice, and it feels so good. And it worked. Like it guides you and it takes you in the place where you're supposed to be. And I believe that, like, I just coached with a woman on this too, that you will be given an experience over and over and over and over and over and over and over in your life until you learn. Until you learn. So if you keep meeting shitty guys or you keep meeting shitty women over and over and over, it's because you have to learn something. You're not learning what you're supposed to learn. I keep getting these situations where I meet an attractive woman, but I don't ask for a number because I'm too freaking scared, right? So it always comes up. It's like ask, and I just don't. But this time I did. I broke that cycle. Yo, whoop, woo, got her number. We'll see what happens from here. Like, but that's super cool. Like, that just happened. And I went to this wicked sound bath. And it was my first time doing a sound bath. So, like, there's, guys, this is going to be a long one. I don't know how long it's going to be, but it's going to be a long one because I'm just ranting about all the things that are happening in my life. And they're all incredible. And the sound bath that I did, which was super cool, and I recommend that anyone goes and does a sound bath. If you're in GP, Daisy Harp, she does them, the sound bath with Sound Alchemy or something. I'll tag it or it'll pop up here that you can go check it out. It's phenomenal. And so what it is pretty much that our body, if you go to the molecular level of our body, of our cells, they're just little atoms and particles floating around. It's really a vibration. And so sound bathing and sound baths are supposed to be healing through sound, because sound is just a vibration. And so it creates a certain frequency, a certain vibration that enters the body and begins to heal. And so we're in there for like an hour. It's like a guided meditation of freaking love and awesomeness. And she hits the tuning fork, and the tuning fork like just, you just feel it throughout the entire body. It's absolutely beautiful. And I noticed how much tension and how much tightness I've been storing in my legs and in my hamstrings specifically. And so tightness and tension is emotional baggage. It's emotions that are trapped in the body. It's traumas that are trapped in the body. It's experiences that are trapped in the body. Emotions that are really trapped in the body. And I realized like how much tension, how much tightness was stored in my legs from that space. Like I could not get them to rest. I could not get them to slow down. They just kept on being tight. And it was just crazy to see. And there was this moment when they kind of just released, and it just like, it let go, and it was just absolutely incredible at how much space it opened up. And afterwards, like I literally felt like I was floating on a cloud. So that was cool to see, of like how much trauma and how much emotion is trapped in my legs. And there's a beautiful way. So a way to get, if your legs are restless, if you have restless legs, that is just energy that is trapped inside of your legs. And so a beautiful way and a technique that I learned to get it out, because I often have restless legs. Like I often have a lot of energy stored in my legs. It's shaking. It's like shaking helps loosen all of the trapped energy that's in the body. And so you just shake your leg, you shake your arm, you shake whatever's there, and it releases the emotion, it releases what's there and frees up this space. It's absolutely wonderful and does it. And that comes from science of like looking at animals. So let's say for buffalo, for example, because I went out to the Adams Ranch, which is also wonderful. Everyone should go check that out. Everyone should just check everything out. You went to the Adams Ranch, which is a buffalo ranch, and they have like thousands of buffalo, and I got to work with some buffalo for the day. And I noticed that they're super skittish. As soon as you like, they're like, rah, they run. And then afterwards, they shake it off. They reset their nervous system. They recalibrate their nervous system and let go of the emotion that was in the body. But human beings don't do that because we have logic. We still have the system that shakes. If we get to a space where we can fully let our body shake, it will just naturally want to shake and let go of the emotion. It's there, but our logic interrupts it. And so it's resetting that pattern, recalibrating that pattern to get the emotions out. But anyways, the sound bath was absolutely amazing. And so that was super cool to experience. And I've just had so many experiences and so many beautiful things happen recently that it's just like, I don't even know where I'll be in 3 months, in 4 months, in 5 months, in 6 months. And I swear it's the power of just like positive thinking. It's the power of personal development and getting in the work of like, who are you? What are you? How did you become you? Understanding yourself, understanding how the universe works, understanding how nature works, and understanding the laws that are there, and understanding that your traumas, that your experiences, that your emotions, that everything that you've experienced in the past is creating you. Because there's those people out there that are like, past doesn't affect me. Oh yes it does. Oh yes it does. It affects you greatly. If you're not aware of it, it's running the show, right? So like, just by being in the work of that, it's like it's just crazy how things can unfold, and especially with a vision. Like I talked about that a couple confessions ago of a single dad, of the importance of having a vision, but that is truly it. It's like, have a vision for your life, because anything is possible for you, just like how it is me. Like when I think and look up to the mentors that have been mentors in my life and the people that I've worked with, like Preston Smiles, Sean Smith, Tony Robbins, like when I look up to them, they both, yeah, for sure, probably $1 billion. Tony Robbins probably runs $1 billion coaching business, or like businesses. Sean Smith runs a multi-million. Preston Smiles also runs a multi-million. Like when I've been in the space of them, when I've worked with them, it's just like realizing that like, hey, what they're achieving, what they're capable of is the same thing that I can be capable of, and the same thing that I can do. Just like how you can do those same things too. It's just understanding and building the awareness and building the toolbox of yourself to attract that into your life, to manifest that into your life as well. That's a little bit spiritual woo-woo stuff over there. Spirituality, like manifesting, or law of attraction, which is really just the law of vibration, which is really just like attracts like. How you're vibrating, who you are being, is attracting other people who are being that same way. So yeah, there's just so much happening and unfolding in our lives, and all of this directly like influences Lincoln. It directly influences me. Like I'm in a space now where I can work from wherever I truly choose. Like coming at the end of this week, it's like I can work from wherever, and that's huge. Like I've never had the opportunity to work from wherever, and so I can pull Lincoln out of the day home. I can do different things with him. I can make sure that I spend lots of time with him, go on lots of crazy adventures, and all that kind of stuff. And it's just like, it's so cool to be in this space of unfolding and just change and beauty and seeing how everything is just different. And I tell you guys, like it's all possible for you. It's possible to have this energy. It's possible to be energetic. It's possible to be it's possible for fucking anything. Anything is possible for you, no matter what you tell yourself. It is possible. Because the person who says they can't and the person who says they can are both usually right. It's just, are you willing to look at why you say you can't? Which is really why you won't. Which is really a fear. Which is really fear of being ashamed, or fear of being embarrassed, or fear of you have too much pride to even try. It's just understanding those things. So, yeah, there's just a lot in Lincoln. He's changing like a storm. Like he's 2.5 years old almost, 2 and a little bit. And like fully formulating words, fully being able to put sentences together, asking for what he wants. He's more particular, like he's sleeping better. Like he's growing taller, more physical. He's being able to jump more. He's being able to, like, everything in him is changing, and he's becoming like this sovereign human being, this individual. Like he's come from the state of totally dependent to totally almost being free, and it's so beautiful to watch and so beautiful to see it unfold and see him unfold and see what and where and who he is going to be. Like that's what I'm excited for, and trying to remove my limitations as much as possible on him, to just let him be him fully and wholeheartedly. So I'm excited for that too. Fuck, life is just really good. Life is always good, you know? Life is always good. And there is a wonderful book that I want every single one of you guys to read. It's up there. It's called The Soul of Money. And they talk about how there's this idea of scarcity and there's this idea of abundance. And it has to do with money, but it has to do with everything. It's this paradigm of not enough, I don't have enough time. I don't have enough energy. I don't have enough resources. I don't have enough knowledge. I don't have enough wisdom. I don't have enough sleep. Like, this is paradigm of not enoughness. And the world operates from that place. Like, they're always seeking more. We're always seeking more and more and more and more and more and more and more to fill this endless void that's inside of us. And she goes on to talk about abundance and how we always have enough of everything. And there was this culture that didn't even have money, but they were so healthy. They were so prosperous. They were so abundant because they realized that they had it all. They had everything that they needed in front of them, and they cherished every single thing. And it's this idea of like abundance and stepping into the abundance of ourselves, like us. Like, no matter the situation that we're in, we will figure it out. We'll figure a way out of whatever the case might be, but we're so worried about not having enough money to pay rent. We're so worried about not having enough money or food to feed the children, or whatever the case might be. It's fucking ridiculous, and stepping out of that into abundance mindset. But that's really where I'm going, is like, I feel like I'm really just in a space of abundance, of like everything is so amazing. Like, the money's amazing, the plants are amazing, the world's amazing, the trees are amazing, the birds are amazing, I'm amazing, my son's amazing, everything about, like, I have enough of everything. I wouldn't want anything else, and yet I still do. But it's just like everything is perfect and so awesome right now. And it really, really helps me cherishes me drinking this and the ability to have this. It cherishes everything, you guys watching this. So I know this vlog was kind of long, but I wanted to make it and really just talk with you guys and share a little bit about what's going on in my life. And that's just only like a tiny little insert into what's going on in my life. And I'm trying to learn how to share more of that with Lincoln, and share more of the moments with Lincoln and the vulnerabilities. And I'm still learning how to vlog. I'm still learning how to put all of this stuff together. So bear with me. Thank you for bearing with me. And I love you guys. Like, thank you so much for being part of the family and allowing me on your journey, and for being a part of my journey. Like, it's huge. So make sure you hit that red subscribe button down there below. Also turn on the little bell icon so you get notifications of when I post new content, because that's always awesome too. You don't want to miss that, I don't think. Unless you're like, I hate this guy. But if you're watching to this point, you probably don't hate this guy. So make sure you hit that bell icon so you know when videos are posted. Also like and comment. Yeah, that's really about it. Thank you so much for being a part of my journey, and for allowing me to be a part of your journey. Like, it really does mean a lot to me. Thank you. And I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful moment. Like, in this moment, like, take a deep breath. And just realize that you have air to breathe. Realize that you have lungs to breathe with. Realize that you have eyes to see with. Realize that you have arms to touch and feel. Realize that you have a body. Realize that you probably have a fridge full of food. Realize that you have a place to sleep. Realize that you have clothes on your back. Realize that you're surrounded by people who actually care about you and love you. Realize that you're surrounded by intelligence that is so divine. Realize that you are also part of that intelligence, and you are so divine. And just breathe that in and be with that. So much love, guys. Peace.